Pope Leo XIV's urgent call, denouncing the persecution of Christians in Nigeria and beyond. In a world increasingly scarred by conflict and division, the voice of the Vatican carries a unique moral weight, one that transcends borders and ideologies. On November 16, 2025, as an estimated 40,000 pilgrims gathered in St. Peter's Square under a crisp autumn sky, Pope Leo XIV, the first American-born pontiff, transformed the solemn Angelus prayer into a clarion call for justice. From the window of the Apostolic Palace, he decried the discrimination and persecution facing Christians worldwide, with Nigeria singled out as a harrowing epicenter of this crisis. His words were not mere lamentation. They were a profound indictment of systemic violence, urging global solidarity and an end to the bloodshed that has claimed countless lives in Africa's most populous nation. This isn't the first time the Holy See has spotlighted Nigeria's plight under Pope Leo XIV's leadership. Elected in May 2025, following the passing of Pope Francis, the former Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost has made religious freedom a cornerstone of his papacy, blending his American roots with a global pastoral urgency. But yesterday's address, broadcast live and amplified across social media, marked a pivotal moment, a direct naming of Nigeria alongside Bangladesh, Mozambique, Sudan, and others as flashpoints where attacks on communities and places of worship have become tragically routine. As the Pope prayed for peace, his message echoed the Gospel of Luke 21, passages foretelling wars and persecutions, not as prophecy of doom, but as a reminder that evil cannot destroy the hope of those who trust in him. The Angelus, a thrice-daily Catholic devotion commemorating the Incarnation, is a ritual of quiet reflection. Yet on this Sunday, it became a platform for unflinching truth-telling. Pope Leo XIV, his white cassock stark against the palace stonework, began with the day's liturgy, weaving themes of end-times trials into contemporary horrors. Today, in various parts of the world, Christians are subjected to discrimination and persecution, he declared, his voice steady, yet laced with sorrow. He elaborated, "I am thinking in particular of Bangladesh, Nigeria, Mozambique, Sudan, and other countries from which we frequently hear of attacks on communities and places of worship. God is a merciful Father who desires peace among all his children." This was no abstract homily. The Pope extended his prayers to the Democratic Republic of Congo's Kivu region, where an Islamic State-affiliated massacre at a church-run hospital claimed at least 20 lives just days prior, a grim parallel to Nigeria's own church arsons and village raids. He broadened the appeal, condemning not just physical violence but lies and ideological manipulation that fuel division. Calls for peace in Ukraine and solidarity with road accident victims and abuse survivors rounded out his message, underscoring a pontificate rooted in holistic compassion, posted verbatim on the official Pontifex X account. The statement quickly went viral, garnering over 15,000 likes and thousands of shares within hours. Nigerian users in particular amplified it with raw emotion. "For how long do we think we can hide the obvious evils in our country? The world knows us more than we deny," tweeted one user, tagging political figures in a plea for accountability. Another called it a wake-up call, sharing clips of the address alongside footage of smoldering Nigerian villages. Nigeria, home to Africa's largest Catholic population, over 30 million strong, stands as a stark emblem of this global scourge. The country's middle belt and northern regions, fertile grounds for faith and farming, have instead become killing fields. Fulani militants, Boko Haram insurgents, and bandit groups have unleashed a campaign of terror disproportionately targeting Christian communities, displacing millions and razing hundreds of churches. The statistics are numbing. From May 2023 to April 2024 alone, over 2 million Nigerians were abducted, 600,000 killed, and $1.42 billion extorted in ransoms, figures that advocacy groups like Save the Persecuted Christians describe as evidence of a genocide. In June 2025, a Benue state massacre in Yelwada village claimed around 200 lives, mostly displaced Christians sheltered at a Catholic mission. Pope Leo XIV himself labeled it a terrible massacre at the time, praying for security, justice, and peace. More recently, in October 2025, coordinated raids in Plateau State killed dozens, including priests, with attackers chanting Islamist slogans as they torched homes and harvests. Persecution doesn't discriminate by faith, it's a brutal equalizer, noted one Nigerian commentator on X, but the data tells otherwise. 94% of victims in these attacks are Christian, per Open Doors' 2025 World Watch List, which ranks Nigeria 7th globally for Christian persecution. Yet, amid the ashes, resilience flickers. Nigerian Catholics report record confirmations and 94% weekly mass attendance, a testament to unyielding faith. As one X-user poignantly observed, when the leader of the global church must raise his voice in grief, it shows just how desperate the situation has become. Pope Leo XIV's Litany of Nations paints a tapestry of tribulation. In Bangladesh, post-2024 political upheaval has seen a surge in attacks on Christian minorities, with 134 communal violence incidents reported from August 2024 to January 2025 alone, many targeting places of worship. Mozambique's Cabo Delgado province endures an Islamist insurgency that has razed villages and churches, displacing 1.1 million since 2017. Sudan's civil war, pitting the rapid support forces against the army, has weaponized ethnic and religious divides, with Christians bearing the brunt in Darfur and Khartoum. These are not isolated tragedies, but symptoms of a world where faith becomes a fault line. The Pope's appeal aligns with international designations. The U.S. under President Donald Trump recently relabeled Nigeria a country of particular concern for religious freedom violations, echoing Amnesty International's pleas to end the daily bloodshed. Pope Leo XIV's message is laced with hope, not despair. He invokes Jesus' promise that persecution forges deeper faith, urging believers to work together for the common good. This reflects his emerging style, critiquing nationalism and exclusion while championing migrants, climate justice, and interfaith dialogue. As he prepares for a November trip to Turkey and Lebanon to commemorate the Council of Nicaea's 1100th anniversary, these words may herald bolder ecumenical pushes against intolerance. The implications for Nigeria are profound. The Pope's spotlight could galvanize diplomatic pressure, bolstering calls from groups like the African Union for robust security reforms. Locally, it fuels debates. Should negotiations with bandits persist, as in recent Katsina peace deals, or demand military resolve? On social media, voices clamor. Should the government negotiate with terrorists, or is military action the only solution? In the end, Pope Leo XIV's cry is a summons to all. Indifference is complicity. As he reminded the faithful, the attack of evil cannot destroy the hope of those who trust in him. For Nigeria's persecuted, that hope now burns brighter, fueled by a pontiff who sees not threats, but children of God.